You crack out of your egg sack into the dim, dusty corner of a Queensland garage, where the air smells like motor oil and your mother's abandoned hopes. You're one of about 200 spiderlings, each no bigger than a pinhead, scrambling over your siblings in what can only be described as the world's most disturbing group hug. Your mother, bless her eight-legged heart, has been guarding this nursery web for weeks. She spent her time fending off ants, beetles, and other threats while her eggs developed. But the moment you all start hatching, she's basically done with parenthood. No congratulations, no family photo, no welcome to the world speech. Just a quick glance and she's gone. Thanks for the life lesson in abandonment, Mom. You're a Huntsman spider, though nobody's bothered to explain what that means yet. What you do know is that you're suddenly very, very hungry, and your siblings all look increasingly like snacks. Welcome to your first lesson in family dynamics. It's every spider for themselves. The competition is fierce. 200 tiny mouths, zero parental supervision, and enough sibling rivalry to fuel a reality TV series. The garage around you is a labyrinth of dangers. Oil stains create slippery death traps that have already claimed a dozen of your siblings. Abandoned tools cast menacing shadows. And somewhere in the distance, a radio plays classic rock that makes your sensitive leg hairs vibrate. This is your birthplace, your first hunting ground, and, quite possibly, your tomb. As you scurry across the concrete floor, you notice something that makes your multiple eyes widen in terror. A shadow passes overhead, massive, buzzing, and definitely not here to welcome you to the neighborhood. It's a spider wasp, and she hunts for the perfect spider to become the living cradle of her egg. You freeze against a paint can, trying to blend in with the rust stains. The wasp circles the garage with methodical precision, her antennae twitching as she searches for the perfect arachnid host. Your heart, all of them, pounds as she hovers directly above your hiding spot. After what feels like an eternity, she moves on. You've just survived your first encounter with what will become your recurring nightmare. That wasp will remember this garage, and she'll be back. But for now, you have bigger problems, like figuring out how to hunt when you're barely visible to the naked eye. 3 months later, you've grown into the impressive size of a quarter, and you're starting to understand what huntsman actually means. Unlike your web-building cousins who wait for dinner to come to them, you're built for the chase. Your legs have grown longer and stronger, perfect for sprinting across distances that would challenge a gecko. You've claimed a territory in the garage, a sophisticated hunting ground between the workbench and a stack of paint cans. Tonight, you're feeling particularly ambitious. You've spotted a cricket near the toolbox, and you're going to take it down commando style. The cricket is massive compared to your usual gnat prey, like hunting a small car in spider terms. But you've been practicing on increasingly larger targets. Last week, it was a housefly. Yesterday, a small beetle. Tonight, you graduate to cricket class prey. Moving silently across the concrete, you stalk your prey with newfound confidence. The cricket is obviously munching on some crumbs, completely unaware that death is approaching on 8 very quiet feet. You're about 3 feet away when disaster strikes. That familiar buzzing fills the air. She's back. You drop flat against the floor, abandoning your cricket dinner as the wasp searches the rafters above. This time, she's not just browsing. She's conducting what can only be described as a detailed census, methodically checking every corner, every crevice, every potential hiding spot like she's taking inventory of available hosts for her reproductive plans. Her massive compound eyes scan the garage while her antennae twitch with predatory focus. You hold your breath, all of it, and pray to whatever deity watches over garage-dwelling arachnids. The cricket, sensing opportunity in the chaos, hops away to safety with what sounds almost like a mocking chirp. There goes your dinner and several days of careful planning. The wasp finally moves on, leaving you hungry, terrified, and starting to develop severe PTSD. You make a mental note. Maybe it's time to expand your hunting territory beyond this garage. You're 6 months old now, and you've achieved what scientists call mature size. Your legs now span a dinner plate, and you've mastered the art of making grown humans scream like children. You've moved your operation indoors, leaving the garage to younger spiders who still think oil stains provide adequate camouflage. The Australian suburban home is an all-you-can-eat buffet if you know how to work it. Tonight's menu features moths, mosquitoes, flies, and if you're really lucky, maybe a cockroach or two. Your hunting technique has evolved into guerrilla warfare. You scout from the ceiling corners during the day, then descend like a special forces operative when darkness falls. The key is understanding that humans operate on predictable schedules, active during certain hours, practically comatose during others. The family that lives here has definitely noticed you. Humans tend to react to dinner plate-sized spiders with enthusiastic terror. The mother spotted you last Tuesday and spent 20 minutes standing on a chair, pointing and making noise ordinance violations. The father refers to you as that bloody enormous spider. which you interpret as professional recognition. The teenage daughter seems fascinated, often trying to photograph you for social media. You've learned to pose dramatically when you notice the camera. The younger son has declared you his mortal enemy and keeps attempting amateur-hour capture tactics that you easily evade. But living in the house comes with challenges. There's the family cat, Mr. Whiskers, who views you either as a toy or a crunchy snack. You've learned to avoid the vacuum cleaner, which the mother wields like a spider-seeking missile system. The worst part? That wasp has followed you inside. You've seen her hovering around windows, tapping against the glass like she's trying to make an appointment. Every time you think you've escaped her, there's that distinctive buzzing, reminding you that some problems don't disappear with a change of address. A year into your career as a household predator, you've become something of a legend. Your reputation precedes you throughout the house. The moth population has plummeted under your reign of terror. Cockroaches whisper your name in the dark corners. You've developed signature moves: the ceiling drop attack for unsuspecting flies, the behind-the-curtains ambush for moths attracted to lighting, and your personal favorite, the tactical takedown that leaves prey with nowhere to run. The humans have developed grudging respect for your pest control services. Sure, they still scream, but they've stopped trying to kill you with rolled-up newspapers. The father even seems impressed when he finds cockroach remains you've left by the kitchen sink, like grotesque offerings to household harmony. But your success has attracted unwanted attention. A younger Huntsman has moved into the basement, some punk kid who thinks he can muscle in on your territory. This newcomer lacks respect for territorial boundaries and has been making rookie mistakes. Time to show him how established veterans handle territorial disputes. The confrontation happens at midnight on the living room wall. He's got reach and youthful energy, but you've got experience and superior weaponry. The fight is brief but decisive. You establish dominance, and the basement intruder retreats. Victory tastes sweet, but it's short-lived. That familiar buzzing is getting closer, more frequent, and this time it's not just routine patrol. She's planning something major. 18 months into your reign as the house's apex predator, you should be feeling invincible. Your hunting prowess has made you legendary among the local invertebrate population. You stand proudly on the bathroom counter, examining your reflection in the mirror. But today feels different. There's a tension in the air that makes your leg hairs stand on end. You've been sensing her presence more frequently, the spider wasp who has haunted your existence since day one. She's no longer content to simply patrol the perimeter. She's planning something. And today feels like the day when months of planning transition to action. You're positioning yourself for your evening hunt when you hear it. Not the distant buzzing you've grown accustomed to, but something much worse. The sound of purposeful digging. She's found a way inside the walls. The scratching grows louder, more urgent. She's not just hunting now, she's excavating, creating access routes and staging areas. Your multiple eyes dart around the bathroom as you try to locate the source. Behind the baseboards, inside the wall cavity, the noise is coming from everywhere and nowhere at once, suggesting weeks of preparation. Then, complete silence. The bathroom vent cover explodes outward with a metallic crash. She emerges like some prehistoric nightmare, the spider wasp, now fully grown and magnificent in her terrifying purpose. Her iridescent blue-black body gleams under the bathroom lights, and her orange wings shimmer with predatory intent that has been building for over a year. You've survived 18 months of her stalking. You're not going down without a fight. She circles you slowly, methodically, like an experienced fighter pilot sizing up target vulnerabilities. Her massive compound eyes track your every movement, while her antennae sample the air for chemical signatures. This wasp has been planning this exact confrontation longer than you've been alive. The attack comes faster than your multiple eyes can track. One moment, she's hovering near the ceiling. The next, her stinger is plunging toward your abdomen with surgical precision. You try to dodge, but there's nowhere to run in the confined space of the bathroom counter. The sting feels like liquid fire spreading through your exoskeleton. Your legs begin to lock up as the venom takes effect. Not killing you, but paralyzing you completely while leaving your nervous system fully functional. This is her specialty, the living tomb. You remain conscious, but utterly helpless as she begins her methodical work. With the efficiency of a creature that has performed this routine hundreds of times, she drags your paralyzed body toward the hole she's excavated in the wall. You can only watch in horror as she prepares the silk-lined nest that will become your living grave. Her eggs need fresh food, specifically fresh spider food that stays alive for weeks while her larvae slowly consume you. She deposits you in the carefully prepared chamber, positioning you like some macabre decorator arranging furniture. Her abdomen curves as she prepares to lay her eggs directly onto your paralyzed body. These eggs will hatch in just a few days, and her larvae will begin their feast while you're still alive to experience every moment of the consumption process. As consciousness begins to fade, You reflect on your life as the garage's most feared predator, the household's legendary hunter. But in the end, you were always just part of a larger food chain, one where the hunter inevitably becomes the hunted. Your last coherent thought is bitter irony. For a creature called a huntsman, your greatest skill turned out not to be hunting, but simply surviving long enough to be someone else's prey. The wasp's eggs begin to pulse with new life, and somewhere in the walls of that Queensland house, the cycle continues.